Shefsky here, and welcome to Fantasy House. You like Adventure Time, you like MTV Cribs, you've been watching HGTV while you've been eating acid and going, whoa, HGTV, you're such a trip. Well, then that's what Fantasy House is. It's HGTV, MTV Cribs, and a little Adventure Timey Rick and Morty on acid. Okay? Every week, my special guest walks us through their imaginary fantasy house. It's freaking fun. It feels like you're actually there. We riff. Sometimes they're serious. Sometimes we're silly. This episode today is just so much fun because my guest this week is one of my favorite comedians and just a hilarious dude, KURT METZGER. Oh, dude, he was on my my old true crime podcast, Crime, and we had a blast. He's been on it multiple times. He's just a great riffer, a hilarious dude. You like sarcasm and deadpan humor. You like houses with tons of sinks that you can pee in? Huh? Is that what you like? You like just general silliness and fun and someone that's just not afraid to speak their mind even when it's just dirty and ridiculous? Oh, then you're going to love this episode. This episode is for you. This episode is brought to you by several sweet advertisers. I hope you guys are excited. It's brought to you by me, Jon Shefsky, Southern California realtor. That's right. I not only do a podcast called Fantasy House, I can also help you buy or sell your fantasy house. How much fun we shall have. So hit me up at fantasyhousepodcast@gmail.com and we can do that together. That'll be fun. This podcast is also brought to you by Heart Handmade. That's right. Heart Handmade is this awesome company ran by this awesome lady named Claire, and she's actually been helping me out a bunch. So I can this is one of those ad reads where you're like, trust me, folks, I use the service myself, so I know. She's like a master organizer, and she offers like ways to just planners and just creative stuff that'll help you take your idea and just put it to reality and make it work. So you got to hit her up. Her web address is, I need to get that to you. But it's Heart Handmade. I mean, if you Google Heart Handmade, if you look on Instagram, like she's tagged on my stuff, like you'll find it. I'll get the web address eventually. That's my ad read right there. I don't even have a good web address, but now you'll remember it better, won't you? It's also brought to you by D at A Piece That Remains. A piece that remains when somebody dies and you want to make their ashes last forever. Call D at A Piece That Remains. D will take the ashes of one of your loved ones. It doesn't matter if it's a pet, if it's a relative, or even just a stranger because you're a grave robber. She'll put the ashes into a painting, blend them up, make trippy art, and you can hang them up wherever you want, and that person will be with you forever, hanging wherever you put their art. Beautiful. Hit her up. A Piece That Remains, a PEACE that remains.com. Also brought to you by Joe Erle at C3 Risk and Insurance Services. Guys, you need insurance for everything these days, but why go straight to the companies? Why don't you go to an insurance broker, a dude or a chick who will actually find you the best deal at any company? They're just going to take your profile and figure out what's the best deal for you. All right. Hit up Joe Erle. If he gets you an insurance policy, you get $25 to Amazon.com gift certificate right there. How sweet is that? Joe Erle, C3 Risk and Insurance Services. It's the letter C, the number 3, and then Risk and Insurance Services. They're based out of San Diego, which has the best Mexican food in the entire world. So you know that they know something about something. You know what I'm saying? Hit them up. Now, in the words of the great Angelo Bowers, let us do this. Won't you take it all around over to your fantasy house? Your host with the most experience in your fantasy house. You don't need money for expensive construction. The only limit is your imagination.
From the outside, it looks like, it's like futuristic architect things,
What do you mean? Like what futuristic like houses that are futuristic?
Yeah, where they have the real swoopy kind of future, but they did them in like the 60s. But
yeah, probably, okay, you're talking about like the atomic era, like desert houses?
It's going to look like a female vagina.
Your house?
That's the architecture. So it'll be a cock and balls. It'll have the cock and the balls.
Oh, yeah.
And and it would be a monument in that way.
It's almost like your house is kind of like in your own ways the Austin Powers necklace.
Because I'm not a TERF.
What's a TERF?
A trans exclusive radical feminist. I don't believe in that.
Oh my God. You know so many acronyms. Dude, you know so much pop culture that I don't even know how to keep up with the stuff you understand and know.
It's the time I save not having a house.
Yeah, if you had this fantasy house, you'd be busy calling a plumber.
It's not like fucking, it's like it's not, by the way, it's not really even shit I keep up with. It's like when I get in these arguments, I read all the shit.
Yeah.
You know?
Like a lawyer, you do your homework before you go to court?
Well, no, we had a show and we'd invite people on. You know, Race Wars would
for sure.
We would like have it. We'd really try to get people on and like have it be like I'm not trying to like, it's not a debate. We're just hanging out. And I didn't want any part of it to feel like a thing you have to, because people are like, what should I prepare? Like, you don't have to prepare. Just come fucking hang out.
Yeah, just get there and chill.
It's so, yeah. So most that's from like, you know, having people, oh, by the way, room 1 of my fantasy house would be my salon area where we chit chat about movies and social justice.
You'd have a salon. What's it look like? Paint the picture.
Now, depending on the size of the house, it could either be in addition to or just a part of my masturbatorium.
Okay. Is it going to say that?
It sounds like it should be a part of the masturbatorium.
Is it going to say that somewhere in print so I can see the word masturbatorium?
I don't know. I'll have it divided into literal and metaphorical.
All right.
You know, I'll have keep some action figures on a shelf, and and then you know, and then below that the R. Kelly style sex dungeon. Except that's just the theme of it. And instead, we will teach girls about STEM fields.
STEM fields?
Yes, getting into STEM fields.
I don't even know what that is.
Where women are underrepresented. It's STM. It's an acronym
God, you know so
science,
much.
Technology, I think ghost busting, stand-up comedy. STEM, you know, STEM fields. Yeah. Important things that
now I know.
You need more women.
I thought that was the Jewish neighbors to your fantasy house. Honey, the STEM fields.
No, because that will be the like the cellar basement area.
Okay.
Where that education will go. Because one thing I felt R. Kelly had right with his sex dungeon is a house needs to be built on a firm base of strong women. Mm-hmm. You know, that part I think we agree with, even if we don't agree with the dog dishes and the leashes and the mother crying at home.
This is the...
So that would be, so we have 2 rooms knocked out already.
We already have.
That's the kind of architect that I am. I get into something else completely and then come back to the house.
Do you have a bathroom anywhere that we can go to?
Oh yeah. Most of it's a bathroom. I believe in open borders of bathrooms, if that makes sense.
I think so. No walls.
Anybody desperate enough should go anywhere in my house. No.
Do you just have toilets like just around or what?
I'm sorry, open borders. Let me clarify what that means.
Okay.
It means you can pee in the sink.
I love that.
You do have open border sinks.
I love the idea of like coming to somebody's house and being like, this place is so relaxed.
I mean, please don't shit in the sink, everyone.
Oh, no, I wouldn't do that.
Not animals.
That's disgusting. Peeing and pooping are 2 very different things. I know they get lumped in together, but like pee isn't that big of a deal. Poop is definitely something I would like to stay away from.
But you can shit there. I'm not one of these people.
Thank you.
I'm like, I know you can't shit in my house.
Who does that? Have you had someone say you can't shit in my house?
All kinds of people are weird about shitting.
I mean, people have their own...
my friend Big J is like, he can't shit in public. He has all these legendary diarrhea stories that he couldn't make it somewhere because he couldn't go in a public area.
Well, it's one thing if you can't go in the public area because you're like grossed out. I've had some weird times that I've gotten, you know, into some bad situations.
Jay is funny because he's like surprisingly dainty with certain things. Like
I could tell from his gloves.
Yeah, like you know,
you wear gloves like that. I'm like, you poor little tramp.
Yeah, that's right. But they are kind of, they're glam rock a little bit.
Oh yeah.
God damn. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm a big believer in like a fatter guy with rock and roll shit on. I don't say fat because Jay's like, I want him to be exactly. He looks like a blacksmith or something from a Walt Disney movie. Yeah. Like it's his exact like. I don't know. He looks exactly right to me. I told him that he has to eat. If he gains or loses 20 pounds, I'll consider him a pedophile. Just because of the outfit. He's at the exact right. If you like I don't know why, but like a big dude or like a chick that wears all that shit. Yeah. I like when somebody hot rods up a big guy.
It is. It's yeah.
Like a Guy Fieri. Hey, let's put some flames on that fucking bowling shirt and go see what's spicy out there.
Yeah, that's the big daddy look. Where it's like, dude, you.
That's exactly right.
Own it.
There's something about that that's very. There's like a party around it all the time.
Yeah. Right.
So, yeah, it's a good look. I don't know how that would relate to my house as far as a room goes.
Would you have a room themed after Big J?
But Jay could shit in my sink. He's not going to. That's why I'm going to tell him he can, because I told you he's a little bit dainty.
Yeah.
Fucking dainty. He's like a BBW over here.
BBW.
Guy won't even shit in my sink.
I just feel like he looks like one of the Lost Boys.
Yeah. I used to say a post-apocalyptic lesbian. I used to say something about it. Oh, the troubled younger son of Santa Claus. He had like a young Santa look for a bit. But anyway, I could talk about Jay shitting all day, but that's not why we're here. We're here about this fantasy house. Sometimes I mix my fantasies together.
Yeah, that's the whole point of this show. Let it flow.
Yeah, sometimes my fantasies get all mixed up. Because I'm looking at your sticker here with we said it before, but your stage name, but luckily.
That's my stage name.
I didn't know what it was saying. I was just like, oh, like, with Fantasy House with but luckily.
Hi, I'm But Luckily. Welcome to Fantasy House.
Yeah, right. I mean,
I'll be your host.
By the way, if something's called Fantasy House, that is the perfect name of a host of something called Fantasy House.
It is.
But luckily,
it does kind of venture into the sexual fantasy house.
I'm But Luckily.
But luckily.
Welcome to Fantasy Cribs with
Would I have a little white tuxedo? Welcome to Fantasy Cribs.
That's the best stage name I've heard in the last 30 years.
But luckily, and you came up with it.
No, I didn't. I read your sticker.
Well, I mean, the words "but luckily" are out there.
That was inside you all the time.
But luckily has been inside of me. Actually,
my masturbatorium.
Your masturbatorium. Yeah, you want to describe the masturbatorium? Like, I also want to know stuff like...
it's nowhere near R. Kelly Sex Dungeon, Stemfield for at-risk girls school. It's on a whole other floor because there's no...
Yeah, you don't even want there to be any kind of conflict of interest. But what's it look like? Does it have a carpet? Does it have a solid floor that can be, cleaned easily?
I don't know. It's probably, I'll label it like the crying room or something so that people don't enter.
Because
you don't want to call it the masturbatorium. Everybody's like, if somebody has a bidet, I'm like, oh, you have a bidet. I can't wait to try it. I don't want them trying my masturbatorium.
You don't? I don't know. I feel like the opportunity or the missed opportunity to have like a really cool 1920s like metropolitan style sign masturbatorium, that looks.
Like I said, it's just to discourage people from using it.
Okay.
It's mine.
Okay, so pretend I
don't know what I'm going to call it though. Observatory or something?
Is it super secret? Like where you're going to pull a book out of a freaking shelf and
what's a room nobody wants to go into? I guess my masturbatorium.
Yeah, most people are not going to.
What's the room that you say, hey, you want to come in here and they're not going to go in? My masturbatorium. So maybe we'll call it a masturbatorium.
I'm such a curious.
I'm also going to put that on my bathroom and keep the fuck out of my bathroom.
Everywhere just has it. Dude, how many rooms are masturbatoriums here? The whole place.
Yeah.
You're so lax that we can pee.
I didn't want to spoil the twist of my fantasy house.
The fact that I can pee.
The whole thing was a masturbatorium the whole time. That would be the Jordan Peele twist of it. That the whole house is a masturbatorium.
At the end of the episode, those rooms were great. You're like, joke's on you. They weren't separate rooms. It's just a giant.
Go in your disgusting masturbatorium. I'm like, you never left it.
Even right now.
And then
he's masturbating from inside the house.
And then Jordan Peele comes in. He goes, but luckily thought he was in a normal house without.
I could only be so but luckily for that to happen. Okay, so let's just say we're in the initial, your prized masturbatorium that you don't want people in. Describe it to me. Does it have chairs? Does it have a seat? Does it have one of those kind of standing seat things so you can kind of...
It's got a whole row of audience chairs for people to watch.
Okay.
They're not actually there. Okay?
Yeah.
The way Rupert Pupkin plans for stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
That's how I prepare for a show that it will never happen. It's really sad. It's sad people can't see it because it's compelling.
Oh, dude.
But no one ever will.
You and your...
That's what Tears of a Clown was about.
Let's go to this kitchen.
Oh, the kitchen. I'm pretty much a takeout guy. So... I don't know. I think I would save space on it, dude, for more masturbatorium just because, hey, I'm kind of a Hot Pocket guy.
They serve so many purposes for you.
Yeah, And so I just need a place. I don't need anything. Just a place to keep my hot pockets.
That's it. Are you gonna?
Oh, that's a mosque.
Your next room is a mosque.
Yeah.
In the house.
Yes. Okay. And I mean for like only hardcore. It's not for like moderate. You're just like, oh, I'm just a normal Muslim person. I actually came to this country to get away from like craziness. You are not welcome at this mosque.
This mosque is what's it
not
called?
For you. It'll be called something innocuous.
Okay.
Like the Foundation for a Progressive Way or something.
Where everyone's just like, sounds good to me.
Yeah, it'll be called like the Foundation for Feminist Studies, and it will be a hardcore radical Islamic mosque.
Oh, dude, Casa de ISIS for dinner. Heading over to the mosque.
I'm obviously not real, so don't make a thing out of it.
No, it's
a fantasy.
Yeah, you can do it however you want.
If you are like an ISIS and you're like, you had to change a heart, like the Nutella wasn't enough. You're like, you know what? Yeah, there's Nutella here, but the rest of it is not what I was told it was going to be.
You said Nutella?
Yeah, they'd lure
no
women out like, and you get Nutella. Like,
are you serious?
Their marketing is brilliant, or it was.
My wife does love Nutella.
They weren't so good at the whole doing all the rest of the shit to keep your territory and have a running government part, but they were good at the other parts, the marketing.
They know how to. They made a brand.
They were the Fire Fest of hardcore radical Islam, if you really think about it. ISIS, like they had. Same thing. Cool advertisement online with Ja Rule. Yeah. Anyway, so let's say you're disappointed with your choice of ISIS, but you still basically like the core tenets. That it's for you for sure. You will find a safe haven
at your house, at your fantasy house.
Oh my goodness, at this mosque. Yeah.
Can we go look through it, or are we in danger? Are we in danger?
You can if you can repeat the.
I
those magic words you got to say if you're in a mall about to get shot.
Abracadabra.
Yeah, there's one gabba gada abracadabra. If you can recite that,
then you're good.
Then you can come in.
So we can't even check out one of the rooms in your fantasy house. You barely let me look inside your masturbatorium.
I just don't want. I don't want snitches from America. That's why.
Oh, dude. If we were visually filming me like crib style walking through your fantasy house, this would be like that CIA thing. How they
the next shot would be you being beheaded for poking your nose in.
The last episode, the series finale of Fantasy House is me getting murdered.
We continue the tour, and they'll be like, "Where's?" But luckily, I haven't seen him for like the last 3 rooms, and then cut to orange jumpsuit.
The funeral for But Luckily will be live today.
Probably, yeah. I mean, we'd like do like a little. We'd have a little budget to like animate like But Luckily, like your head when you hold it up. And we have a little CGI. You know, they do practical and CGI effects.
How they combine them now, and
we would make that in my editing bay, which is upstairs above that.
You have an editing bay?
Yes, my studio. Oh yeah.
All right, let's go up to your editing bay.
Yeah.
Do up the stairs, and we're at your editing bay.
My YouTubes and my podcasts, where I produce, a lot of young male pop singers, boy bands, and what have you.
You're the Lou Pearlman of.
Oh my God.
Of the fantasy house.
I go through them by the band. I go. Like if you're in Orlando, that's how. You order boys you're like, I'll have a band of boys.
A band of like a cord of wood.
Would you like a full band? Just a half band of boys tonight.
So fucking gross.
Well, it's Orlando. It's the Miami of pedophiles. I don't know. It's like the poor man's Mexico of running away. You're like, well, just flee to Florida.
You'll still be in America, but
put it like
Mexico rules.
You'll blend in with other fucking
alligators and shit.
Yeah.
Florida's a weird spot. I always used
to. It's big. There's a lot of different spots to it.
I used to riff on it a lot in crime news because so many stories. I'd just pick random crime stories off the internet, and so many stories would be in Florida.
Yeah, Florida Man. That's like a lot of. It's like the newsmakingist.
Yeah, Florida Man. There's a good name for an improv group. Okay, so you've got an editing bay. Do you have a master bedroom?
Oh, like an opium den. I always wanted an opium den
as your master bedroom. Or
okay, no, but obviously, if you have an opium den, a lot of the time it's gonna end up being your master bedroom. If you've seen any movie,
yeah,
and I'm not gonna whitewash it. I'm gonna get real Chinese, people,
classic,
to lay around in my opium den with me.
You have a period piece.
I'm not recasting it.
No,
do you understand?
Yeah.
To profit, I'm gonna lay around and be worthless in an opium den. I'm doing the real fucking deal.
Yeah.
They just like hand you opium. Who are these like workers? Like, you want more opium? Fucking dirty fucking white guy. Every movie, the guy's like, well, he's just like all the villains and worst people are like, they're cool. They like him at the opium den.
Because that's it's business. You're like, all right, sweet.
Everybody
money.
likes everybody at the opium den.
Well, everyone's just calm
Except
and
when you run out of
chill.
opium.
What kind of couches do you have in there?
For real, I just talking about that made me really want some opium.
Did it? I don't think I've ever had opium.
Yeah. Well,
that I know of. Had poppy seed bagel a few times.
I used to, I've never seen the band, but I've been to like 4 Fish concerts just to the parking lot because that's where you could maybe find opium.
And the appeal to it is what? It just makes you tired, right?
It's like weed. It's like
super
weed, but of fucking
super indica
narcotic opiates. Like it's like if hash was like so much better. It's if hash was way better, and it's not as bad at all as, if you had access to it, I could do it all the time. It would be probably very bad. Like you can die, but it's not like, Oxycontin or fucking heroin or something. Like how a coca leaf would not be the same as cocaine,
Yeah. You have the organic version of just like a whole food version, right? A whole food version of the drug where you're just like, it's just like.
I'm sure there's problems with doing it live, but the natural state is not the fucking, these things get artificially made into a
synthetics and whatnot.
Yeah. It's like you have testosterone, but you put synthetic in, it's there's something, it's not supposed to be, there's things are calibrated a certain way. So anyway.
Yeah.
I'm going to have an opium. This is the kind of shit I'm going to talk about in my opium den as I'm passing out from opium. Opium's not that bad.
You're going to have to wear a business suit.
I'll be laying back talking to somebody who probably only speaks Mandarin. Mm-hmm. Everybody thinks opium's and like, well, and they hand me a fucking...
You're like, the people that work in here are such great listeners. They just don't understand you.
Chong, I feel like you're the only guy that understands me sometimes.
Wait, dude, you got a backyard? Should we see your backyard?
No, I don't want to mow a lawn. It's
you're not gonna do up your backyard for me.
Just
you got guests over.
Build house onto it. It's all house. What am I gonna have a barbecue? It's the whole thing's house.
The whole thing's house. You're so LA.
I'm going to absolutely decimate any bit of natural greenery.
Okay, so you have no plant responsibility. How about?
I'm doing it for the planet.
No, I said plant.
Oh, plants?
Like you don't have to worry about, you said you're going to decimate any greenery, so you don't have any plants to mow or anything like that. What about your garage?
I don't know. Probably I'll end up storing a lot of shit in there because I don't know. I'm not like a car guy.
Okay. You don't have to have a car. I mean, people like do wood shop in the garage. They have weights. They have a taco lady 24 hours a day making tacos. I mean,
is that a thing? Garage tacos?
I'm just giving you ideas for your garage. It can be anything.
Oh, that's a lot of great. Some good ideas.
You don't have to have cars to still use like a garage space to do stuff.
I probably have what do you call it? What's that one that all my rich friends got now? A Tesla. I'll probably have a Tesla.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Those things can pretty much drive themselves. So I
would just go in there to think about the world.
You'd sit in the Tesla?
I feel like when you have a Tesla, you have a responsibility to think about, who you're platforming. Mm-hmm. Just important thing. And I would just sit in my Tesla and think about it.
So you wouldn't even really drive it? You just sit in there and chill and be like,
No, I can't drive. I can drive. I haven't driven in a long time though.
I think a Tesla can drive for you though. I think the new ones can actually drive for you.
They can half drive for you. You could be like texting and driving and it'll make up for that.
Stop and everything, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
It like shoots a radar underneath the car in front of you and it bounces off to see the car in front of you.
That's like that's if I was going to drive it, that's good because that way you never have to stop tweeting. Mm-hmm. Or being part of it.
Never stop tweeting.
You know what I mean? Like I'll be driving. I'm like, there's no way I'm gonna not get in on this tweet.
Mm-hmm. So would that be bad? You'd be like, I'm tweeting too much right now because my car lets me.
I think no, it's a chance to signal boost for marginalized voices.
Oh, dude. Okay, so garage has got a Tesla that you can sit in and think and contemplate. Go back into the house. We went into the kitchen. You got bathrooms everywhere.
Yeah.
Are there any
or sinks? I guess, as you would call them.
Oh yeah, sinks because that's what.
In your lace curtain Irish way.
So there aren't toilets in the bathroom. There's just the sinks to pee in. And then what happens if someone?
There's toilets.
Okay, but you just don't. You only use them for number 2.
You use them for whatever you want. I don't give a shit. Okay. Hey, that's not my business. What you do once you get in there.
There were a lot of
toilet.
In what
I don't want to
said.
explain it to you.
Yeah.
Just bowl some water, do what you do.
Okay. Is there a bathtub? Is there a place to actually bathe at your house?
Mm-hmm.
What's it like, Doc?
It's called my mouth. Yeah, there's a shower. There's a bidet.
I feel like if I was literally at your house asking like, hey, Kurt, can I use your bathtub?
But there's a very nice bidet.
Yeah. Is that also your mouth?
From France. Imported from France.
Imported bidet.
His name is Pierre and everything. And he makes coffee and bidets you.
Does it have googly eyes or is this a human being?
He actually makes you the espresso and then he gets in position and does the bidet work. You drink espresso. I mean, it's amazing. It's like Pierre's a machine.
Oh, I believe it. A disgusting, disgusting machine, Pierre.
I know. His name should have been But Luckily. When I tell him that, he's going to fucking really make a muffled giggle sound from back there.
That's disgusting. Where else? Is there any other rooms in this house? Is there any appliances? Is there any like places that you've like got some trippy shit besides the crazy rooms that we need? Do we leave anything out?
There's some bongs and a fucking whatever. Some paper plates. You get it. It's a fucking kitchen.
You have paper plates in your fucking fantasy house. You don't have to pay for any of this stuff, right, Kurt?
Some bongs and some paper plates.
What's a balling?
I'm
bongs.
I'm not fantasy watching those dishes. I'm going to be laid out in an opium den.
That's right. So you have bongs, so you can take bong rips and go opium?
Maybe I'll take in some level 3 improv.
There you go.
Okay.
Do you have an improv studio in this house?
Yeah, I said that. Group thought.
Wait.
It's part of the house.
Okay, so group thought is part of that. That's your improv group, and that you have
a troupe, and it has an improv theater.
Just like the masturbatorium? Or do you use the masturbatorium?
Well, funny story. The masturbatorium was the old name of our improv troupe. And we had to change it in this Me Too era. It had a bad connotation.
Okay.
So, let's call it group thought.
That is much safer. Group thought.
And let's just use the masturbatorium for masturbating for once, you know?
All in favor, say aye. You don't have to raise your right hand, though. Fap.
That's it. Okay. Oh, yeah. So I'm starting my new podcast, dude. And I got, it's called... I
was just going to say, what's your plug for your stuff? Yeah.
It's called Can't Get Right.
Can't Get Right?
I don't know if it's KURT METZGER Can't Get Right, but it'll, I'm now that I'm looking at your But Luckily thing, I'm thinking of how my name will be in relation to it a lot more.
And how important that is to plan that out.
I now see that I definitely got to nail that down. Yeah.
Dude.
And each one begins with an apology for the last podcast, whatever laughs we had.
That's great.
So the first one, I will apologize for appropriating the term "can't get right" from the African American community with intent to profit off it and not in any way acknowledge the source. Which was Sherrod saying that to me.
Yeah.
So I might fuck that up. So I'm gonna have a lot of apologies, but that's how each one opens, and then
that's good.
It'll be about whatever.
That means you're going to have a lot of episodes. You just said it right now.
I just want a hook that doesn't lock me into some shit.
Yeah.
It always has to be about a murder. Like, you murderers, I'm out of episodes. Get to work.
Are you talking? Yeah.
It's any of them. I got to maintain a fake Australian accent all the time.
Oh, yeah. Dude. Yeah.
Claudia thought she would. It's the only accent that sounds like a fake. Somebody faking an English accent. Mm-hmm. Australia.
A South African trying to sound English.
All right, I gotta go.
Okay, let's wrap it up then. Okay, so check
wrap
out
it up, Shefsky.
That's the other podcast I started.
Yeah, wrap it up, Shefsky.
That's an easy one, right?
I should be an idea man.
How do we do that? What's Wrap It Up Shefsky about?
I don't know.
You got the title. You got to have an idea for what it's about.
I'm getting an idea of what it's about.
Well, tell me when it's all.
Wrap it up, Shefsky. Here's what it's about. Wrap it up. With But Luckily.
Guys, check out Kurt. Do you want to? So they should check out your podcast on what, iTunes or what?
Yeah, I'm coming back I got Moon Tower to do, and I'm coming back and I'm doing that, and then
and it's gonna be out, and people are gonna be able to download it on iTunes and whatnot and listen to it. Yeah, guys, check out KURT METZGER Can't Get Right. Because
I brought it up on Tim Dillon's thing.
Yeah.
And then I don't keep track of whatever anybody was saying, but I just was like, what's it? Because I was like, I can think of a goddamn name, but that's the name.
Just do it. Just pull the trigger. Just do it, as Nike would say, right? Can't Get Right. Okay, cool. Guys, check it out. Thank you for being here. Tons of fun.
Thank you.
Your fantasy house was a fucking trip, and chatting with you was a blast, dude. So, guys, follow Kurt. Check out Can't Get Right.
KurtMetzgerComedy.com is our website.
Check out his website. And
then I put the links up, but I'm at Moon Tower, so you can get tickets there.
Go to Moon Tower.
I think I'm rose battling Brad Williams, actually.
Are you really? Oh, that's awesome. That's going to be good.
My own son.
Dude.
Killed his mother with his giant fucking head. So I've always not, disliked him.
Yeah.
Seeing him waddle along in Metzger Hall in my fantasy house.
This whole time Brad Williams has been in your fantasy house?
I call him what do they call him on the Game of Thrones? I call him the imp.
Thanks for listening, guys. Hit the share button. Give us a 5-star review. #BlessGuest. Peace.